What's up guys, it's your boy Anthony Arundel bringing you once again another TTC Toni-Tech cave review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the awesome UMIDIGI A1 Pro. Nice, small and beautiful. Let's get down to it. Before we start off, let's kick things off by saying that I'm giving away this telephone. I'm not just reviewing this awesome telephone, I'm also going to be giving this telephone away. How do you make a chance of winning this? All you have to do is just like, subscribe and share, and that's it. You could be the lucky winner. Maybe your friend could be the lucky winner. I've said this before. Maybe that guy behind the camera could be the lucky winner. Hey, you never know, so stay tuned. Now that that's out of the way, let's get going. First off guys, let's talk about the specification on this awesome telephone. The display is 1440 by 720 pixels. It has 3 GB of RAM and 16 GB of ROM. Comes with a dual camera setup equipped with a 13 megapixel and a 5 megapixel. Also a 5 megapixel front facing camera. Has a gravity sensor, ambient light sensor, proximity sensor. Also comes with e-compass, gyroscope and GPS. Let's not forget the Bluetooth 4.0, also has dual SIM and micro SD slot. 2G, 3D and 4G! Quad-core MTK 6739, clocked at 1.5 GHz, TF card up to 256, 3 GB of RAM. Well, not much storage, just 16, but hey, gotta keep it rolling. And those were the specs. I was expecting the telephone to pretty much crash on me every single time, but it didn't. I actually bought a helmet because I was thinking it was gonna crash that much, but it didn't. Menus open up with little to no stutter. Internet browsing was also quite pleasant. The telephone was quite reliable. Well, for under 100 euros, you get a telephone that pretty much doesn't let you down. It worked pretty much every single time I needed it to work. Battery life was good. Camera quality was quite decent. Of course, it's not the best quality for under 100 euros or $100, but I don't know too many telephones under 100 euros that can perform this well. The design of the phone is also quite striking. I mean, I was using this telephone in public and I had some people actually ask me where I got this telephone from. They thought it was a really expensive phone. Most of them thought that it was over 300 euros. When I told them it was under 100, it was quite unbelievable. The phone looks great. It feels really good in the hand, I must say. It's not uncomfortable at all. It actually is just right for my hand in either case. I have big hands and a small little telephone like this one on it. Well, I wouldn't say that this telephone is also small, but it feels really good in the hand. This phone was so reliable and the experience so good. I have to kind of keep reminding myself that this is a phone under $100. It's crazy, I know, right? Well, this phone might be great for most users. For a power user, it may not replace your daily driver, but that is okay. This is a great second option, and believe me, a great one at that as well. This telephone was so reliable that it actually stands out in its low tier ranks to me. The battery really did have my back. This thing only had me run into the charger only on heavy use. On normal use, I could go on the whole day, and by the whole day I mean like, well, you know, like 9 hours approximately before I really had to run to the charger. On really heavy use, you would get most probably, with my testing, I got approximately 2 hours of screen on time, but that was real heavy use. Gaming, forget about it, 2 hours is not gonna happen. But it did have my back on everything else. The camera also took some pretty decent shots. If we move on to the back camera, if you take a look at this picture, for example, you will notice that the colors are quite crisp. There's not really much happening in the background, no distortion, so it takes some pretty okay shots. There won't be some groundbreaking shots, but if you look at it, it looks pretty crisp and clean. The colors do really pop at you. And for something under 100 euros, I mean, there's absolutely no complaints here. These are the kind of shots that I will take, for example, to put on my social media or just a quick share with someone. And moving on to the front side of the camera, if you look at the front side, the front shots of the camera, these actually look pretty good as well. They're not bad at all, provided that you take shots in the light or during the day. If you take shots outside of daytime, like at the nighttime, then shots tend to get a little grainy and sometimes a little bit out of focus. It was pretty nice, but again, you have to have some good light, and if that's not the case, then your shots will not look too good. But then again, guys, you also got to keep in mind that this is $100 or under $100 phone or under €100 phone. This is something I would definitely like to have in my pocket just in case. It would be a really nice backup phone, and if it ever happens to fall down and the screen happens to break, you will feel less sorry because once again, it was only under 100. So that was the camera aspect about this telephone. It's a pretty nice camera. Once again, absolutely no complaints on my side. Actually, there is a complaint from my side. Let's take it back here for a second. If you look at, for example, the bokeh shots, the bokeh shots aren't really that great. To be honest with you, the second camera setup, or at least the second camera, is really not doing much, or really isn't doing anything. Because if you look at this shot, for example, you will notice that this thing looks more like it was software corrected, and had nothing to do with a second camera. So technically speaking, I think the second camera is either fake or does absolutely nothing, because this is rubbish. If you put that aside and you try to work without the bokeh effect, then I think that you will be quite pleasantly surprised. And now let's do some gaming on this baby, shall we? This is a small gaming test. As you can see, we're now playing Asphalt. This is a very high-intensive game, and high-intensive gaming is not really all that on this. This thing will run perfectly with lower tier games, but this is just a quick little run through as to what you can expect with a high-end game like Asphalt. I usually do most of my testing on Asphalt, so if a machine can run Asphalt pretty decent, then to me that's good enough. But as you can see, this is not the best that you will get. But then again, you kind of knew that when it came to gaming, high-tier games is not exactly what this thing was made for. So that's just a little quick run through of gaming. Wrecked. Alright guys, here we have a better example. This is Beach Buggy Racing. This is a lower tier game, which should run pretty decent on this device. And let's have a quick look and see if that is the case. And as you can see guys, yes, this game does run pretty decent or pretty good on this device. I stated earlier, lower tier games will always run pretty good, and higher tier games, yeah, you will definitely have an issue with that. So certainly keep that in mind if you're looking for a gaming device. This is certainly not a gaming device, and by gaming I mean high tier gaming. When it comes to something low tier like this, as you can see, it works quite remarkably. There's no issues whatsoever, so please bear that in mind. And as you can see, I'm not the best racer ever, but I have to review, race, and also not get my ass kicked while I'm at it. In conclusion guys, this is certainly not a bad piece of tech. I'm actually quite happy with it. Did I not have a much more stronger telephone, this would have been a second choice or first choice for me to be at that matter. This is definitely a telephone that I would certainly advise to somebody. It's definitely worth the price. It looks great. It actually looks more expensive than it really is, and it will certainly have some heads turning. All in all, it got me through the day. The battery wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, and it's certainly no slouch. I would definitely recommend this phone. Tell me, what do you think about it? Is this something that you would recommend? Is this something that you would go out and buy? Is this something that maybe you would even, I don't know, give away to somebody as a present, or maybe not? Let us know in the comment below. Also guys, please don't forget that if you want to win this telephone, you have to like, share, and subscribe. That's it. And once again, my name is Anthony Arundel, and this has been another TTC Toni-Tech Cave review. Thanks for watching.